getting on really fine before. Oh. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I don't know about you, but ever since we got into lockdown, I have been a barista. Like honestly, I love Starbucks, Costa, anything that does like iced coffee, like iced drinks. I just love. I'm a big sucker for them. If I go to Starbucks or Costa, I always get an iced drink. I never get a hot drink. So from being in lockdown, I've become a wee barista. I've been making stuff that I probably would never have had the time to do, and I thought, well, why not a video them and share them with you guys, because maybe you want to make them. So these, I think there is 5 recipes, and I would recommend you trying all of them. And if you do, please tag me on Insta or Twitter or even TikTok if you decide to make one. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so the first recipe or drink is just really simple, and it's just my simple iced coffee recipe. I love iced coffee, and like this is just the easiest one to make, but it tastes so good. So here it is. Making my coffee for tomorrow's drink, and this is the instant coffee I'm using. I always just use instant coffee because it's easier. And 1 and a bit more. Teaspoon, sorry. And then just add water to the top. Then mix it until it's all dissolved. And then I'll leave it to cool down, then I'll put it in the fridge. If you want your coffee to be a little bit stronger, I definitely recommend this. I used to use this all the time, but I've started using the other one just to use it up. But this is really good, so I'd recommend this as well. Okay, so this next recipe, originally it was meant to be just a mocha frappuccino, but I ended up not having chocolate chips like I thought I did, so I decided to use Nutella instead. So it turned into a Nutella mocha frappuccino. I don't know what to say. So here is the recipe and visualing of that. So guys, for the first recipe, we are making a Nutella mocha frap. So basically, I started filming this and it's cut off, so I'll show you what I've done. I've had a handful of ice, nearly 500 ml of instant coffee brewed last night, so it was nice and cold, and then so much milk, and I've added some Nutella. So we've got it all together. Now I'm going to blend it. So I kind of overflew on the thing, so definitely stick to max lines, but there we have it. It tastes a lot more coffee than Nutella, so maybe add a bit less coffee and Nutella next time, but it's still really nice. But if you're not the biggest fan of hot coffee, maybe it's not for you. Okay, so I've never actually tried this at Starbucks, but after making it, I actually want to really try it now, and it was homemade cold brew. I've heard of it in Starbucks, but was never really sure what it was, but then I wanted to try it at home, and it was actually pretty easy to make, but the process was quite long. Okay, so this recipe is a bit similar to the first recipe, which is how to make just a simple iced coffee, but this is actually cold brew coffee, and you might have heard of it in Starbucks. So this is basically, you brew the coffee with cold water rather than hot water, and it just has a completely different taste. It's maybe a bit more smooth, and it just tastes different if it was brewed with hot water than cooled down. So this is how you're going to make it. You're going to need coffee that's not instant coffee like I usually use. You're going to use coffee that needs to go in a cafetiere or a coffee machine. So I've got that here. And you want to do, so I'm going to do 1 cup of coffee and 2 cups of cold water. So let's do that. A little bit under a cup because I don't want to use too much of the coffee. So you just want to make sure that that's the size of your cup. So I need to make sure it's always at that line. So add that. So I'm making it in a jug, and I'll cover it with cling film 2 cups of that amount, and it looks like this. Now, I think I'll give it a little mix, then add the cling film on it, and you need to leave it to brew for 6 to 12 hours. So I left the coffee to brew overnight, and as you can see, it's still a bit clumpy, but not as much. Now what you got to do is get a sieve, and it says to use a cheesecloth, but I don't actually have one, and you're going to sieve it through into a new cup. Grounds are left in it, and you've got your own cold brew coffee. So you're wanting to have a cup of ice, well, not a cup of ice, the cup you're going to have it in, and a bit of ice, not too much because like you don't need too much, and your coffee, which you should have now sieved through. It looks just like your instant coffee now, but I think I don't know how it tastes. It's the first time I made it. Now at this time, this is when, if you're going to add some syrups like vanilla syrup, hazelnut, caramel, what else you get, gingerbread, pumpkin spice, add that now. So add around a pump, and then add your coffee. So I'm just having it normal. So that's how much it's made, and then there's a bit of the coffee grounds below. Now what I've learned from this, there was quite a lot of coffee grounds left, and I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing, but I think I maybe could have added a bit more water to make more. Obviously it seemed a lot of effort for 1 cup of cold coffee, but most people, when they do this, they'll make a big mason jar of it and keep it in their fridge for a while. I just did a smaller batch just to try it out to see if it was nice, and if I did it again, I'd maybe get a bigger jug and make more of it. Yeah, that's how to make cold brew coffee, and I'm going to go add some milk to it now. So I'm just adding like normal semi-skimmed milk. You can add cream, creamer, whatever you like, or you don't even need to add milk. I like to add milk just to make it a bit less strong. And then I'm going to take my straw and mix that together, and let's give it a wee try. That is like way stronger than just your instant coffee. That is actually really nice, and it doesn't taste like it's actually really nice and strong. Okay, so I love mochas just because it's a bit of chocolate and a bit of coffee, and I also love salted caramel, so this recipe was so nice to make. This was probably the most exciting recipe I made. It was really fun to make, and this was a salted caramel mocha. And the thing I loved about this one was I didn't need to use a blender. This one was really easy to make and tasted really good. Okay, so the next recipe is how to make a salted caramel mocha. So first thing we need to do is make the chocolate part. So I'm using this Aero hot chocolate, and I'm going to use around 3 teaspoons. So the trick to this is having half and half hot chocolate and half coffee. So I've added 3, you can't really see it, teaspoons of hot chocolate. Now I'm going to add milk and halfway up the cup until it looks like this. So just mix it, and then we'll put it in the microwave for it all to combine together. I'm putting it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Chocolate's like all mixed in and stuff. Leave it to cool for around 10 minutes. So once you've had everything cool down, so your hot chocolate and your coffee, I made this last night so it's really cold, you want to pour it in your cup. Now I will say this cup is clean, it just doesn't really want to look clean. So we'll pour the hot chocolate and then the coffee. So on around halfway of the hot chocolate, I'll add a little bit more. So once you put your hot chocolate in, you're going to pour your coffee in. And you're going to leave that to mix. After all, this is a salted caramel mocha, so I'm going to add this toffee caramel sauce into it. And the recipe, I said around 2 tablespoons. And just add a little bit of salt. So the caramel sauce is like dropped to the bottom, so you just need to stir it all together, and this will mix everything all together. And then just a little bit extra, top it off with some squishy cream. So this is the finished product. It tastes really nice. The caramel just adds a little bit of a different flavour. I would definitely recommend this. And the final recipe, and probably my favourite recipe out of all of these, is homemade lemonade. I love like homemade lemonade, not sparkling lemonade, just simple homemade lemonade, and I'm actually going to make some later on because it tasted so good. But I think I say this in the video, but I'll say it here as well. This recipe, you could do so much with it. This is basically just a recipe how to make lemonade. You can add strawberries to it. You can even add iced green tea, because like you get green tea lemonade in Starbucks, and I think that would taste really good. I didn't do that, I just had it by itself. Or you could blend it out with ice, you can freeze it. There's so much stuff you can do with it, and this was such a simple recipe that I'll do this like tons of times again because it was so simple and tasted so good. So this recipe is fresh homemade lemonade. So you're going to want to juice 1 lemon. You only need around 1 lemon for this, but I used a large lemon. I just juiced it with this juicer thing, but you can do it by hand or whatever thing you have to juice. You're going to want a jug to put it all in, and some measuring spoons. This recipe is working in cups, and that's a 1/4 cup measuring spoon and a tablespoon. So you're going to want to take your 1/4 cup measuring spoon and measure 1/4 cup of hot water. This doesn't need to be boiling water, just hot water out of the tap. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar to the water, and then you're going to mix that until it dissolves. Once the sugar is dissolved into the water, we're going to add our lemon juice. The recipe says for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I had just over it with 1 lemon, so I just used the whole lemon. And then what you want to do is just mix it into the water and sugar mixture just so everything is mixed. Now the last part is to add 3 1/4 cups of cold water to the mixture. And then just so everything is all mixed together, we're going to mix it all together. You then want to get a glass of ice and add your lemonade to it, and that's you got homemade lemonade. So I would definitely make this strawberry lemonade again. Now it's just, the recipe that I've shown you guys is just basically for lemonade, and I just added some strawberries in just to add it a bit different, and I just think it makes it look a whole lot prettier, and I paired it with my rose gold straw. That's all the recipes, guys. I know when I look back on it now, all I made was iced coffee, mochas, and then some lemonade. But it was just stuff that I had in my house, so it was really simple to make. But if you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and comment maybe some recipes that you have for Starbucks at home, because I would love to try them. I have a Pinterest tab for them. I'll link my Pinterest down below if you want to check them out, because I've got tons for Starbucks at home. Didn't try them out on this video because I didn't have the ingredients at home. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and stay safe. Bye!